I be out on a late night, opposite a play fight. See slime break night, this break night. My wristwatch is like a break light, and you can get it right on your gravesite. So tell me something I don't know. $50 pizza when I'm eating in Soho. I heard that you in love with the stuff in your hate me, they hate me. What should I do? Keep getting money. It's funny, I was just like you. Super Bowl Sunday with the facts. Security guard told Kevin Hart to relax. Oh, tell me something I don't know. What? Tell me something I don't know. What? Tell me something I don't know. Like when it drop whole game in the chokehold. Tell me something I don't know. What? Tell me something I don't know. What? Tell me something I don't know. Like when it drop whole game in the chokehold. I reinvented myself, they sorta hated it. I reinvented myself and upgraded it. Traded in the Jews, copped a couple new ones. Lost a couple friends and got a couple new ones. Upstairs.
It's girly power. Well, it's the coach. This is the 2018 season, and you've got it tuned to EA Sports. Coming up, running back Todd Gurley, fresh off a standout performance a week ago, as it'll be the Los Angeles Rams taking on the Seattle Seahawks. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
With the beautiful Puget Sound just to our west, you get a look inside CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. These folks love their football in Seattle. This was the scene a moment ago as the home squad came out of the tunnel, and it was just absolutely deafening in this building. They're set for football, so are we, as the Seahawks get set to match up with the Los Angeles Rams. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you look at this Seahawks team as they get ready here. They come in losers of 2 straight, so they're trying to right the ship here a little bit.
They're teetering a little bit, aren't they? And now things could really go south if they lose this game, so they understand the importance of playing well and stopping this streak.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Rams, it's been all systems go in this first month. They're off to a 4-0 start.
And it's got folks believing that this is a team that's built to go all the way. You can't win the Super Bowl in September, but they're telling everyone that they're going to be there in the end.
The first quarter of the season already in the rearview mirror, and off we go in Week 5 on EA Sports. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Good to see this man running again. Here's Chris Carson. And he'll be taken down here at about the 23-yard line. On the stop was Aaron Donald.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through.
Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. So they were able to put the pen to the paper this week, get this deal done, contract extension. And I'm sure that the coach's front office happy. He's got to be happy too, though.
He's got to be relieved. He doesn't have to worry about moving now, doesn't have to worry about not having a team. He's back with a team he's comfortable with and where he feels he belongs. Yeah, I think he could.
And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack.
And that's their first sack of this game, but how about last week? 6 sacks. Great coverage downfield, which helped that pass rush. They are really working in sync right now.
Now here's Michael Dixon, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. That's taken on the 25. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10. Goff will lead the Rams up here 1st and 10 at their own 37. A play fake to Gurley. Now gone. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, 2nd down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, You've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Back to the air. Goff on 2nd down. Then he'll find his target. Woods, it's complete. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And he's got the 1st down yardage as he brings this up to the 47. Goff hitting Woods for a Rams 1st.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go, because he might wander into some tough coverage.
And that's caught left side. It's Woods. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. They go play action with Gurley. Now Goff. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
A first carry for the converted wideout, J.D. McKissick. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Well, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. Give them 11 yards that time on the return. And the Rams will be backed up deep to begin the drive as they take over 1st and 10. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's James. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a 1st down.
So how do you beat man coverage? First of all, you want to be a superior receiver, but you know something, that guy who's covering you, he's usually pretty good too. So the corner route is usually a great spot to get it done.
He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that's caught inside the 35. The Rams were the highest scoring team in the league last year, and they're on the move early with a 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Goff. Throw left side complete. That's James. A very solid gain of 27. This offense can certainly move quickly when they want to. 3 plays, 3 pass completions. In the blink of an eye, they've got a first and goal.
Almost felt like a lightning bolt hit in this game, didn't it? For them to get downfield that quickly. And now first and goal expected.
And this is caught. He's got it. Touchdown, L.A. Richie James with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Rams are going to take a first-quarter lead. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
And it'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that...
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Samson Abukum in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got...
And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety. And, Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
So they will accept the penalty and move forward. Goff will lead the Rams up here, 1st and 10, right at the 30. Off play action. Here's Goff. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he is down deep into Seattle territory. A big play there. Goff to Kupp. 65 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Out of the gun. Goff. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. Jaron Reed. Getting in there from his defensive tackle spot to snow him under for a loss of 4. Partner, we had their game last week where they had 6 sacks, so a little bit more momentum here again in the first quarter.
And last week it appeared that they were coming out of sprinters blocks, chasing the quarterback. So how do they continue that? How do they keep making it happen? Different looks, different disguises, different angles that they chase it.
They were so disruptive last week. We'll see what the trend is here as we go forward. This stadium once registered as the loudest roar ever recorded, and you can hear them now. 3rd and goal. A shotgun snap for Goff. And he'll go down. Brought down at the 20-yard line. Frank Clark in there to drop him, and he continues to wreak havoc in offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year. They go ahead and snap it. Goff. And he's got it. And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds. They get the completion but cannot push forward into the end zone.
Everyone gears up for 3rd down, talks about
the Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And last time they surrendered the safety, we know they don't want to do that again.
That is just one of those oddities in scoring that we get, and it's just so strange to see that go up on the board, and then you got to make sure that that doesn't happen to your team again. They've got to take care of the ball.
But boy, it juices up the defense.
Oh, without a doubt. That's a great way to score some points.
And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. A big play there, 98 yards. And the Seahawks get the quick strike touchdown. And with that carry of 98 yards, he's now tied for the second longest in NFL history.
Amon Green did it, I believe, in 2003 when he was playing for Green Bay.
Against the Broncos, I think.
And just face it, no matter who was running the ball, for that distance, give them some oxygen as well as the touchdown. What a play.
Janikowski adds the extra point, and the lead is down to 2. So the lead shaved to 2 now as the kickoff is away. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead. And that's their second charge timeout here in this first quarter. They're down to 1 remaining. Goff will lead the Rams up here first and 10 at their own 18. Now a play fake, and it's gone. And incomplete on the deep ball.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys were sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
They'll fake the give. Now gone. But when this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And he'll actually lose about 7 yards on the return, but they have possession of the football on the turnover.
And as a defender, if you're going with 2 interceptions in a game, that's pretty rare in the NFL. You might see one guy a weekend do that, but to have 2 in the first quarter, that's something you don't see all that often. I have a feeling they'll think twice about throwing in his direction too often.
And a pretty big hole as he's down to about the 40. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
And it is still early, just the first quarter. But you start prorating the numbers, and we might be in for some history. I mean, that last run puts him over 100 yards already, and we've still got 3 quarters to go.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Samson Abukum in there to drop him, and his great season continues. 13 sacks for him now on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time.
Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Ndamukong Suh in there to drop him, and back-to-back sacks now bring up 4th and long. Well, Suh has gone west, but still a huge body and still wreaking havoc.
And guess what? Teams are going to have to try to find a way to block these two. Aaron Donald, the reigning defensive player of the year. And Ndamukong Suh, power, force, fury. We just saw him right there as he picks up another sack.
And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Wide open receiver complete. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. And they've got it here with a 1st down. They've made goal line offense a priority on the practice field this week. This is exactly the situation they've been prepping for. From the gun, here's Gone. Escaping the pressure right. And he's just going to throw this one out of bounds here. Nowhere to go with it. Incomplete.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. Goff throwing again. And it's complete. He's got it in the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. Richie James with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Rams add on to their lead. Now he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the 2nd quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time. Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
And the grab made by Doug Baldwin. Doug Baldwin, the 30, 10, 5, and he's taken down all the way inside the LA 10. It's a big hook up there, Wilson to Baldwin, 73 yards.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Well, he had 2 sacks earlier. Now he has 4 total tackles for a loss after that play.
Well, they obviously have to do a better job trying to block it. But short of that, you know what the quarterback has to do? Make sure he doesn't hand it to him when he's back there thinking he's one of his own guys. His quickness, his suddenness, his speed getting into the offense's backfield has been something else in this game.
They'll wind up getting 7 on the completion, but they'll still be faced now with a 3rd and goal situation. On 3rd and goal, Wilson, and he's got it. Caught in the end end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Ed Dixon, his first touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks have made this a one-score game. Janikowski good with the extra point.
It's not a great revelation to say that it's going to take a lot to replace what Jimmy Graham gave this club from the tight end position, especially in the red zone. That had to be an encouraging sight for Russell Wilson right there as he finds one of his replacements for the touchdown.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides in this thing, it's starting to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match in a football game.
Yeah, I like your description there. Maybe we're sitting in a nice royal box watching this type of a game. But let's face it, right now, the way it's going back and forth, it's going to come down to who can get a stop.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
Definitely worth taking another deep shot here. He's already found the end zone twice here in the first half.
Yeah, go back to that same well. They've had trouble containing him, but able to contain him on that play. Airing it out deep for Wood. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off at the 22. He's still barreling through. And all the way down inside the 25 before he gets out of bounds. So that is 3 interceptions now in this first half, and you hate to ask the question, but let's be honest, we're thinking about it. Do you need to go in a different direction next series?
Potentially. We know that he's probably not going to be on the Pro Bowl ballot. That's not really his stature here, but he has been their starting quarterback for this game. So they've got to weigh things about who's behind him. Do they think he can snap it back into gear? Maybe change up the play calling to help him out a little bit.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. That means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
This is Carson. And he'll take this one inside the 10, down to the 8. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with 3rd and still 7 yards to go.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
On 3rd down, Wilson. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
This fielded at the 2. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. Goff will lead the Rams up here 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. He's going to go up top again. So they took a shot on 1st down, but couldn't connect.
I guess they figure with a guy who is that hot downfield, who knows how to get the ball into the end zone, you throw it up and give him every opportunity, even though that one fell incomplete.
Yeah, he's already been in the end zone multiple times. Tried to target him again deep there, but unsuccessful. He's got his man complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. And that one results in 35 yards. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some interceptions and still lead your team to victory?
Eluding the pressure right. And escapes the sack. And boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble.
They certainly thought they had him surrounded and probably thought they were going to get him on the ground and get the sack, but he was able to elude that. And even though it threw it incomplete downfield, if you're a defensive back, you're loving the pressure that you're seeing from your front.
And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And Zuerlein's kick is good. And with that, they'll take a 2-point lead here in quarter number 2. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted. But I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. They go play action here on first down. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
A carry now for McKissick. And he'll get this one up to the 26. And Ndamukong Suh makes the tackle.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, no.
Tyler Lockett, he's at the 30, 10, 5, and all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. Tyler Lockett, his second touchdown on the season. And the Seahawks are able to strike for 6. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase it.
And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Goff now looking to throw. Flush to his right. Now he's going to throw deep right side. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Foul you want.
Now on 2nd down, this is Gurley. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
12.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. They'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
Hard throw, incomplete. Decision made for Sean McVay. They're going to go for it. On fourth down, gone. Man open, it's Cup. He's got it. And he lost the football. But it looked like a Rams player was able to get his hands on it, yes. So they will hold on to the football indeed. Well, they deemed it 4-down territory, and they got 4 yards to pick up the first. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. You probably talked about since training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. There's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away. They got a man over the middle. It's Woods. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. Goff to Woods as the Rams move the chains.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow.
And with a flag down, he goes down. So they're able to sack him. Now the penalty looks like it could be holding. Let's find out.
Holding offense.
So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
Here's Goff. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. A very solid gain of 27.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball in the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. That's into the hands of Reynolds. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up second down. On second down, here's Goff. And this is caught. He's got it. Touchdown, L.A. Jared Goff with his 3rd touchdown pass of the afternoon. And the Rams are in for 6. Zerline now for the PAT. Zerline connects on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Doug Baldwin and company getting ready to go again on offense. Well, September sure treated him kindly. Now we flip over to October. Any reason to think that those numbers drop, or can he keep the pace up?
Well, he can keep the pace up, but it's going to get a lot more difficult now. To me, it's a lot like baseball, all right? When guys, when they first hit the league, whether it's a pitcher or a hitter, and they go through the league the first time and they're hot, they're going, wow.
And the Rams got it. They bring him down. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. He gets it to Baldwin. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. From the gun on 3rd down, Wilson. Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. The Rams going to be forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Now here's Michael Dixon. He's been terrific so far. This will be fielded at the 17. Shreds him with a stiff arm. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. Meanwhile, down in Santa Clara. And the 49ers have scored again, really extending that lead. That'll be a game to monitor as we go along. Now problems right out of the gate. We're going to get a delay.
Delay of game, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves them back 5. Now they need 15 yards on this series after the delay of game. 1st and 15. To throw is gone. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And a nice gain at 21 yards. His big game continues. Already has the 3 touchdown grabs, tacking on some more yardage and a first down.
And how precise has his route running been in this game? We just saw him get open yet again. And he's also made adjustments as the defense has tried to really stop him.
Trying to lay one up deep. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on, and it's 2nd down. This secondary has been roasted in this first half, but they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back, but that's one step in the proper direction.
He's going to air it out deep for one, and it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off with great anticipation, and his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Final 12 seconds of the half now as they've got it 1st and 10. They'll start out on the ground with Carson, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Oftentimes when a guy has a game like this, he's going to take his offensive line out to dinner afterwards. But after a play like that, he may tell them, instead of getting the steaks, guys, we might have to go for the hot dogs.
Okay, Brandon, thank you very much. More from you two in just a bit. But first, let's get everybody caught up with what's going on around the NFL here in Week 5. We'll start up at New Era Field just outside of Buffalo, where you see the final score there. Matt Ryan, 2 touchdown passes as his guys remain unbeaten. From there, we'll head down to Charlotte to check on the Panthers at home at Bank of America Stadium. And they were winners in that one over the visiting New York Giants. 28-10, the final. Meanwhile, in our game, no shortage of offense as each team has been able to move the ball effectively. Will the defenses show up in the second half? To find out, we give it back to our commentator, Brandon Gotten and Charles.
You want the 3rd quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. Both these offenses have been in fine form. What will the second half bring us as we are underway in quarter 3? That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. And the Rams now coming out on the field. They have the lead now. They'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ballgame.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Flushed out right. And this will be incomplete. Robert Woods, former USC man, the intended target. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, 3rd quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall. Partner, the way this offense has marched up and down the field during this game, it's almost a surprise to see an incomplete pass on 3rd down, isn't it?
Yeah, they have had their foot on the gas all game long, but here finally stalling out. And it is incomplete. Knocking it away there defensively, Justin Coleman.
I don't know why you would do that. It's almost guaranteed points the other way. I mean, I get it if it's a late game situation, maybe even 4th and inches. But, boy, that's a huge risk to take.
Yeah, now they're set up in prime position going the other way. Now it's Carson. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
Sometimes play calls boil down to philosophy. You know you're facing one of the top 10 units against the run in the NFL. So do you decide to keep smashing against them, or do you decide to throw the ball here?
And here's another tackle made at the line, so they're converging well on the football now.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Here's Wilson to throw. And down he goes on the pressure from the Rams defense. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
Well, they don't get a touchdown here in the opening drive of the third quarter, but I think maybe you still say mission accomplished as they come away with the lead.
No, absolutely. You keep the pressure on, right? You go downfield, get some points up on the board, and hope that you've motivated your defense to take the field and hold that lead.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. So now here are the Rams as their offense comes back out. And on that last drive, went for it on fourth, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on fourth down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened there.
That factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
And they'll run it here. And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. That second down run, a big help as 7 yards leaves them with just a 3rd and 3 now.
That was a good run, probably right on the edge of breaking into something really big. So the defensive guys right now are talking about, okay, what can we do to slow him down before he truly gets started?
On 3rd down, they'll run it with Gurley. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
There are a lot of different formulas to winning football, but one constant over the years, winning on 3rd down. That pickup there was big because they had struggled throughout this one.
A play fake to Gurley. Now gone. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Give them 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Gurley again here on 1st down. And Gurley fumbled it. Gurley fumbles the football. It's loose. And the Seahawks have recovered. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding. Defense.
Of course, they have the option, and they choose to not take the penalty.
They like the results of the play that they just ran, and they elect to let them stand.
So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. Now Wilson on 1st down. And this is complete to Moore on the comebacker. A good pickup there, 22. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. Here's Carson. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by the former Husky, Marcus Peters. And he will take it out to the 25-yard line.
Oh, man, Brandon, not a real good throw that time. It looked like he tried to put a little too much air under this one, and it turned into a floater. And defensively, this is a dream. He could have fair caught that one. That was way too easy.
Here's a Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. And we have seen a lot on the scoreboard here in this quarter. So sometimes you talk to me about tendency breakers on offense. These defenses struggling. Are there tendency breakers on defense?
All defensive coordinators keep something in their hip pocket for these types of situations. What can we do to slow down the onslaught? But the biggest thing is make sure these guys encourage each other, pick themselves up, because right now it's been a really tough ball game trying to stop these offenses.
Oh, it really has, especially as of late.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
From the gun on 3rd down, Goff. James has it. I tell you, he is closing in on a 300-yard receiving game now. He's maybe one catch away as he's got a first there. And on that last play there, he's over 400 yards passing now.
You know what that generally means?
Success.
That, and it means you really didn't miss opportunities. Usually very accurate. The ball's getting to the right place. Guys are making yardage after the catch to help you out that way. I mean, the whole team has picked it up. And don't forget, that means the offensive line has had to pass protect pretty well, too.
Everyone dialed in. Takes to midfield, but no further. Just a yard there.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit them over the top.
From the 50, it's gone. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And they will take over at the 26-yard line. Well, he did what he's known for. He made the catch, then he turned into a runner, took the contact, and coughed it up.
And all I remember as a player, when they catch the ball, when those acrobatic guys catch it, you have to make them pay sometimes. You have to put it on them. Big tackle, knock the ball free.
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
I know there would be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and ended up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. They'll run it now out of the gun. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
3rd and long. It's Wilson. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And the offense does cover this one, but back inside their own 5-yard line.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball. I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
76, come on. 76. 76.
Time to establish the run game here. Gurley. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
Well, how many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary, and that led to a really nice game.
Now Goff on 1st down. Escaping the pressure right. Airing it out deep for Woods. So they took a shot on 1st down, but couldn't connect. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%.
We're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense has spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
And he'll get it down here to the 43. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. The Rams on 3rd down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This is 3rd and 4. A shotgun snap for Goff. And got a man. It's Woods. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a 1st down.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the 1st down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
Yeah, they were right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. Now a play fake here on 1st down, eluding the pressure right. And that is incomplete.
I remember a coach telling me a long time ago the difference between playing corner and safety in the NFL. Corner is like the Autobahn. Everybody just flying by, and these corners have been really busy in this game, although they got it done on the last play.
On the last play, yes, but there have been some good numbers put up against them offensively. Back to the air. Goff on 2nd down. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. The former first-rounder, Barkevious Mingo. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. This one's still anybody's ball game. It's a 1-point difference here as we begin the 4th quarter of play. The Rams on 3rd down. They're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. This is 3rd and 17. They go play action with Gurley. Now Goff. And oh, look at that, a diving catch. That one goes for 29 yards on 3rd down.
Partner, if you and I were playing quarterback in this one, we would be really confident right now throwing it to him, wouldn't we?
Yeah, he's been spectacular. He's just saying, hey, I was all state. I'll make it rain out here. Back to throw. Goff. And now he'll tuck it and run. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at 2nd down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
Here's Goff now on 2nd down. And he's going to lose a yard or 2. Taken down behind the line. Jaron Reed in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th. Desperation time for Goff on 4th. And that is incomplete. No luck for the Rams as they fail here on 4th down. And the Seahawks are going to take over the football. Well, that's the 4th time that they've tried to go for it on 4th down. They've only converted once, Charles.
And obviously not a good percentage. And if you're going to go for it on 4th down, you think that you've got the right play dialed up. You can't be stopped. Your momentum's going to keep going. But 1 for 4, that tells you that you need to look at things in a different way, and you need to tip your cap to the defense. They've done a great job. An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 14-yard line. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
21 yards. Well done on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Goff. And his throw here's incomplete. Well, too much oomph, too much mustard there on that pass.
Yeah, really turned it loose, didn't he? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
Now Goff, forced out to his left. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's James. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, he was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice 1st down.
And his throw is incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Here's Goff. Throw left side, complete to Cup. A Ram 1st down as Goff finds Cup.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage, as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage, because man coverage, they're typically running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
A gain of 7 that time. 2nd and goal. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. Again, Goff. Dancing to his left. And he'll just throw this one over in the way of the security crew. Incomplete here.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of. Otherwise, he was going to get sacked.
Now Goff on 3rd and goal. And he's got it. That's Cup for a Ram touchdown. 4 touchdown passes now for Jared Goff. And the Rams have taken the lead here in the 4th. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball in the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And time for us to spotlight Doug Baldwin. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
Now it's Wilson. And his pass incomplete.
Well, my initial thought was that maybe he was just trying to blindly throw this one away, and maybe he was. But he's going to get away with it because as he tried to throw it over the left sideline there's a receiver right there in the area, so no grounding call.
2nd and 10 now, Wilson. And he fires one that's intercepted. John Johnson with the INT.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense. Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swing.
Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked up by the all-pro free safety, Earl Thomas. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
On 2nd down, here's Wilson. To the right side, and he's got more complete. And they've got it well across midfield, down to the 40 before it's all said and done. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
Wilson will throw again. And the Rams got it. They bring him down.
Enough takes to start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Off the play fake. Here's Wilson. And he's going to go down again. Samson Abukum in there to get him, and that is sack number 15 for him on the year. Down 7, and they've got to go for it here on 4th down. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. 1 score down, here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And no, it's incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Rams get the football in outstanding field position. Well, certainly not the way that they were hoping that possession would end, failing to convert on fourth.
And now they've got to make sure that they keep their poise, they keep their confidence. Just because it didn't work once doesn't mean if they get that same situation later that they shouldn't go for it again. The defense feels great, but the offense, they can't be despondent.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. And that one goes incomplete. They tried something out of the bag of tricks, but it's incomplete and now second down. Gone. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They go play action here on first down. And this is caught. And that could seal it. It's a touchdown.
Well, it'd be real easy to say that they are firmly in control right now, but I'm looking at your face and I'm thinking I've got to be careful with that.
Well, it's a two-score game. You're inside of 2 minutes. I think you can breathe relatively easily now.
Yeah, you can, but still, you got to stay vigilant. Can't give up anything cheap and easy. That could put you in some jeopardy.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned it to 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what
pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. Dante Fowler in there to drop him as the clock continues to roll. On second down, Wilson. And he's got the hook up to Moore. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Wilson hit, it's loose, it's out, fumble. And the Rams have got it back.
Well, that drive wasn't a case of wanting to put points on the board. It was needing to, having to, and they didn't get it done.
Yeah, didn't get it done, and now you look at the situation and the point differential, 2 scores, pretty much game, set, match.
How about the takeaway, though, huh? How about those defensive guys?
Goff now looks to throw. That is caught at the 7-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first. Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Throwing now, Goff. Flush to his right, and he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. Third and 2, Goff. And he will score. Touchdown, L.A. Jared Goff, a 5-yard touchdown run. And the Rams use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that's leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like,
and Wilson's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by the former Husky, Marcus Peters. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line. So now he's equaled his interception total from a week ago. Remember, Charles, he had 3 last week.
and you know, all week long he vowed to take that number down. Told the guys on the team, don't worry, things are going to...
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by the all-pro free safety, Earl Thomas. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about it.
And down he goes on the pressure from the Rams defense. Aaron Donald in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. Now the Rams will signal for a timeout, their second. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. They run it with Carson. Space to maneuver at the 40. And all the way up to the 45-yard line. The Rams going to be forced to use their 3rd and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. It's caught right side, Dixon. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. And it's incomplete. And now we're down to 10 seconds. On 3rd and 1, Wilson. He finds his man, Baldwin. The 20. A big gain of 31 on 3rd down. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
One last shot for Wilson. And he's going to be wrapped up and driven down.
Hey.